Okay, guys, we got Steve here. JJ, get us started.
Hey, Coach, how's your team looked in practice since the game on Saturday?
They've been good. They've been good. We took Sunday off. Came in Monday and just did some pretty competitive stuff. Yesterday was a little more focused on North Texas. Wasn't great. We didn't try to build in a real intense practice yesterday, but some real specific things to get locked in on and focused on. They turned a couple of those segments into more competitive than I even envisioned, so that was good. I think they're locked in. And today was kind of a normal practice with a big emphasis on getting ready for North Texas.
What does North Texas do? Are they going to slow the pace down a little?
They're really good. They traditionally have been a very methodical team. They do a great job of controlling pace, getting good shots every time down the court. They seek out mismatches and then put those mismatches in ball screens. They've got a very, very nice mix. They've got last year's league MVP, who does a terrific job in ball screens, controls the game, controls the pace. He can finish. He can shoot the floaters. He hits the big guy on the rolls and kicks it out to three-point shooters. So their offense is really good. It creates some serious problems for us. And defensively, they're active, aggressive. They try to cut the floor in half, keep you from getting it swung real easily. Very aggressive out on the perimeter against Javon and Keaton. They'll try to make them put it on the floor and load up and try to jam it up and make us kick it to the weak side and see if we're tough enough to get that ball out of there and get it to the weak side.
Greg, go ahead.
Steve, we talked over the weekend about would you guys try to make some significant changes or maybe tweak anything to try to, right the ship, as if you will, after the two losses. Did you make any kind of tweaks to how you want to do things or decide on any kind of changes to the system this week?
Well, we know we can't come in here and just give a steady diet of the exact same man-to-man defense every time down the court. So we need to mix things up. We've got to have a couple different coverages ready for some of their main actions. They do a great job of throwing it into the post and spacing the floor. We've got to be ready to guard the post with different guys. If we're going to have to read it, trap it, we're going to have to be ready to come from maybe different areas on the floor. So we're spending a lot of time talking about that. The ball screen coverages are very, very key in this ball game. And, to be honest, our game against them last year was the one that kind of stuck in our mind all year as we looked in the offseason on whether we wanted to make some adjustments on our ball screen coverages. So we've been preparing to be a little more aggressive on ball screens since the end of last year, and hopefully we can do that in this ball game.
When you look at just the season as a whole so far, with Keaton and Javon, they've been less productive scoring than in previous years. Is there anything you can point to that has led to that?
Nothing real specific. Again, overall, we're doing some things better on the offensive end. We're getting more inside play. We're getting more inside out. We've got a little more balanced attack. We like some of the things that we're doing on the offensive end right now. We probably aren't getting out in transition enough. Those two guys are unbelievable players in transition. They're unbelievable when it gets kind of loose and up and down, just playing, just reacting and breakdowns, offensive rebounds. Those guys are so good in those types of situations. And when it gets to be a little frantic, chaotic, sometimes those guys really rise. And we haven't had that as much. We're certainly not panicked with those two guys. We like the fact that other guys are contributing. We're kind of encouraged, to be honest, that if we can continue to have some inside play, continue to have Eric Parrish making plays for us, and then have those two guys come out and do what they're capable of doing, we'll feel real good about things on the offensive end.
Do you think anything has changed with Javon as a result of trying to be more of a point guard and more of a distributor? That was something he just mentioned to us, that he's been kind of focused on that part of his role a lot.
Yeah, I think he's trying to get other people involved. People always think that that's a real easy deal to slide from being off the ball to getting back on it. And it brings along more responsibilities, getting us in those huddles, talking a little bit more, just the conscious effort he's making to try to get people more involved. Probably is taking some shots away from him. Also, if we're outletting the ball to him, he's one of the best. He is our best guy at pitching the ball ahead. And traditionally, if someone else is playing the point, we might be pitching it ahead to him. Now he's the guy pitching it ahead. So, yeah, I think that's probably got some impact on it. It's not that easy a thing to do, to switch back and forth. And he's trying to distribute, trying to get the ball pitched ahead, trying to make plays out of ball screens. And we need him to keep working on that, but we need him to score the ball as well.
Are there ever times that you need him to kind of go back to last year's sort of version where he's taking a ton of shots and maybe gets hot from three and rips off a couple? Do you need to see some more glimpses of that or bring that out of him?
I think so. I think, Javon and Keaton both have such an amazing ability to hit hard shots. So if we're studying, if we're charting possessions, was that a good possession? Was that a good shot? Was that a bad shot? Was that a hard shot? Those two guys can skew it sometimes, because a lot of times we have a possession that we would say is a bad possession, and they hit a shot with a guy right in their face, maybe a three-point shot with a guy right in their face. And so part of their ability is something we need to take advantage of. We need to continue to work to execute better, to get more screens. Eric Zumbel, for example, the last time I checked, every three-pointer he had made this year was an assisted three-pointer. And most players are going to shoot the ball better from kickouts, from inside out, from drive kicks. Javon and Keaton, again, they've got the ability to shoot them off the dribble, to shoot them deep, shoot them with a hand in the face. But we'd like to get them more shots, easier shots. But yeah, we need Javon and Keaton to step on the court every night and be the two best players, or two of the best players in every case. North Texas got some terrific players, but Javon and Keaton need to step out there and be elite like they are.
Yeah, and it's interesting that you mentioned that Javon, he seems comfortable taking so many shots that would be difficult for a lot of other players. But that being said, his percentage from three-point range is a bit lower this year. Is that just kind of, variance at this point, or is there something that he's not doing to have a worse shooting performance so far?
No, I don't think there's anything we can pinpoint. I think what you mentioned earlier might have something to do with just the overall thought. He's locked in on trying to run the show. That can affect your focus a little bit. If you just step on the court with the sole focus of scoring the basketball, it's a little bit easier, I think.
How about for Keaton? His percentage is a bit lower as well from outside.
Yeah, we looked at that. He got off to a slow start last year. He's really in the last week and a half tried to focus in a little bit differently as well, and he was trying so hard to be the vocal leader for this group, and it's a little out of character for him to be so vocal. He's not. I think he does a great job with you guys in the interviews. He does a great job with us, in community service events. But he's not the most outgoing guy on our team, and he was trying very, very hard in the offseason to be that guy, the rah-rah guy, the vocal leader. He leads by example, but he was trying to do more than that, and I think that might have been a little more than he was used to. So he's talking a little bit less in practice, but he's been shooting it very, very well in practice. Obviously had a really good game over there at Rice the other day. So he started the season slow last year, and we thought that was because he was focused on playing a lot more point last year. So maybe what Javon's going through right now is what Keaton went through early in the season last year. As I told you at that time, I thought that was overblown a little bit. When Keaton was playing the point, we didn't have him surrounded with a lot of outside shooting. I think that made it a little bit harder. But I think both those guys are getting settled in now. If we can keep Jacob doing what he's doing on the offensive end, Luka giving us some scoring, Cedric and Parrish continue to get better every day. Obviously, Juice gives us a boost. Lockie makes good, simple plays. We like where we can go with our offense. But yeah, I'd love to get out every night and count on Javon and Keaton. One of them get 20 or 25, and the other one get 18 or 20. I think that helps our chances of winning.
And part of that, I think, has Keaton been sort of a little bit less like attacking and getting to the free throw line? Have you seen a change there compared to previous years, or are you happy with how he's approaching that part of the game?
I think he's still doing okay in that regard. He really added that to his game last year when he got bigger and stronger. His freshman year, he tried and didn't have the strength to do it. But we saw as he got bigger, as he became more explosive, that's become an important part of his game, getting into the paint, drawing some fouls, getting to the free throw line. We need that. That's still an area that our entire group needs to focus on, drawing fouls, getting to the line. We talked about that after the Lamar game, how well we accomplished that in that game. And made for a choppy game because we shot a lot of free throws, but we'll live with that. If we're getting the free throw line, drawing fouls, getting attack into the paint, that will help our outside shooting as well.
Got it. Thank you, Steve.
Thank you.
Coach, I just wanted to ask, how much were you able to get out of Cedric at practice this week? How's he doing?
Yeah, he's pretty sore. You're getting a lot of time with Josh, trying to get him loose, get him in there for a little bit of practice. He didn't get a lot done today. We're hoping to get more from him tomorrow and see what he can do in a game on Friday. Got some other guys with some bumps and bruises that guys pushing through it. We kept practice pretty short. Yesterday we did virtually no contact. We had one segment of defense that was live with some contact, but everything else was kind of even if it was full speed, it was no contact. Today we did quite a bit of contact, but it was hour and 15-minute practice. So we need guys fresh on Friday. With back-to-back games, we need to come in tomorrow and get some work done. But I'd like to get them in and out of there relatively quickly, and see what Cedric can do. Right now I don't know what he'll be able to do tomorrow or Friday, but I think he's making progress.
Well, that was unfortunate. He really showed a lot of upside in that first Rice game last week. He was looking really, really strong there early. Is that something that you hope once he gets, healthy and settled physically? Is that something you hope can continue to flourish down the stretch?
Well, no question. He's without a doubt one of our best defenders. I mean, he just is. He's terrific crashing the glass. I mean, when he flies in there offensively to the boards, he's hard to keep off the glass. Keeps balls alive for us. So physical, so big as a wing defender. Got the right mindset. He's got a defensive mentality for us. So he's helping us a lot on the defensive end. And I think you could see that he was starting to get more comfortable offensively. Had a good game against Oregon State. Made some good plays against Rice the other day. He's enough of a threat from the three-point line to keep people honest. He's going to keep it pretty simple. I thought we were making some good strides there, and hopefully this is not a big setback. Even if he's not full speed, we just don't want this to be a deal that we feel like has forced us to take a step back from the progress that he was making.